Alright guys, this is the wrap-up video for the KOF Cup 2011. I hope you all have enjoyed watching the videos as much as I have enjoyed personally making them. I just wanted to give a special shout out to Lecter, Hydro, K9999, Severo, Hummer for coming, actually having the balls to come. That's great. Admirable of you. Note respect. Kula, Luis Cha, Bart, Andres, Hugo, and the people from El Paso that have been helping me. Special thanks to all you guys for making this event what it was. Special thanks to Scotto. Thank you guys for putting in the hard work to this event. And I know it, may not be the perfect event, but I'm always looking at ways to better things. And for next year or whatever, when we keep this thing going, I'm not so sure if it's going to be on the arcade anymore because but there are advantages of having it on console when the console version is perfect, arcade perfect for 2002. And one of the main reasons is that you don't have to spend 10-15 minutes changing the Japanese Sanwa if it's on PS2. Another thing is buttons aren't going to mess up. I mean, people can't say the buttons messed up or any of that other crap if you have your own stick. And I prefer that. So things are going to be, there's going to be a serious facelift coming in this in the future, more than likely. But the future is something very interesting because the next major tournament I plan on doing will not be the bracket or the game of death. It'll be Mexico versus Peru when everything's finally, get finalized. And with finalized, I mean paperwork, money, tickets, stuff like that. I'll postpone it as much as I have to until I make sure the people that need to come. And that means, some people still need to get their passports. And time is getting closer. So if we have to postpone it until everyone gets their passports, we will. But again, guys, as you know, I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. You don't have to doubt. You don't have to question. It's going to happen. It may not happen exactly when I plan it, but if I say it's going to come. So as soon as it leaves my mouth, if I say I'm going to do it as far as tournaments like that, it's going to get done. So you don't have any reason to worry. Mexico vs. Peru will happen. And even with everything that's been going on with the whole Mexican game of death and the bracket Tijuana and the arcades being stolen from Yamato, with all that happening, again, you have my word, eventually we will have cap in New Mexico if we can. So that's, basically with that. But with the whole game of death thing, guys, basically what had happened was, in the beginning, we were going to actually plan to have it in Tijuana, obviously. Then there was a Japanese embassy alert. The embassy had an alert for the Japanese saying they couldn't travel to these border towns because of what has been going on over there. So they banned them from going to all border towns. With Corneo, number 17, he said that, pretty much had an impact on him deciding he can't go. And then the other Japanese, like Shima, who couldn't go, who was the top Echo players. So that screwed everything up. So I decided to, hey, let's shoot for Puebla. So Yamato had been telling me about that. And everything looked like it was good to go for Puebla. Cuneo said he could go and everything was fine. And then it's like everything was unraveled at the last minute, which basically Yamato's games got stolen. 2002 UM and 11 arcades got stolen, and because he was worried about 13 and some other games, apparently he had closed his shop up for a little while, and they're gonna try to relocate to somewhere else. But that obviously throws everything off. So obviously I could next move it to Mexico City, but I'm looking at it like, man, that on top of the fact that instead of Cuneo staying until July, which he'd originally told us, he decided to go back to Japan May 2nd because he wasn't enrolled in community college. So, I mean, the only reason we really originally planned to have this, we had to have it around June or July, was because Corneo was going back to Japan in July, and he's a major component, and that was make this tournament happen. So now that he's already back in Japan, but to me, I'm looking at all this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to make a rash, unsound, impulsive decision on trying to make this tournament happen without looking at everything. And so, yeah, Mexico City, that's a location for it, but it's up in the air when that's going to happen because I need to look through things, and we need to plan it and think it thoroughly through and make sure everything happens according to plan. And that's what I'm going to do. If I'm going to spend this amount of money, I want to make sure all my goals, whether that be Cooler versus Mr. KOF, blah 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 versus number 17, everybody playing all these different games, Mr. KOF versus blah blah blah, Coco or whoever, I want to make sure at least 80% of those things happen. Or for me, I mean, why am I doing this? Again, I'm not doing this just for nothing. There's a purpose for these tournaments, guys. There is a purpose. The purpose for this tournament was to raise awareness purpose for this particular tournament you're looking at was to, again, to show people that there is skill all around the world and show people that SBO is not the end-all be-all for judging skill level. You cannot, I mean, I don't know anything about Street Fighter, but as far as KOF, you cannot sit here and tell me the person that wins SBO is the world champion. No, you cannot. If anything, this tournament right here took that thunder away from KOF and SBO. You can't sit here and say that. There's a lot of people that, like Mexico, etc., that don't get the chance and to go to these events. And it's not because they are not good. You can clearly see they have the skill. Obviously, it's because they don't have the money. You have to pay $3,000 to host a qualifier for SBO. So it is a money thing. It's not. It's a status thing. It's not an issue of skill. So I want to hold a World KOF Cup. This tournament was the first stage of many to hold in the future what will be the World KOF Cup. Now, obviously, I can't guarantee when that's going to happen because that is a lot of money going out. But I'm trying to, fix the other things that are in works right now. Like, we have our real estate division of the company, the video game division, obviously, gun classes division, and other divisions that I have going on. Medical billing, and then alcohol, eventually, all that stuff, is going to help pay for this. And, other things. So, it's in the works. I can't guarantee exactly when, but, things are getting accomplished. Have gotten accomplished. And hopefully people now see that not only with GGPO, the GGPO challenge, the purpose. Remember, again, for the GGPO challenge, the purpose of that was to see whether, because, Hummer is well known on GGPO, as he said. And he's, he has a very high win percentage on GGPO. And he's beat Mexican players, etc. on GGPO. Well, we're going to see because, someone, I'm not going to say their name, but they stated, and other people had the belief. Because I'm not just saying it's just about that one person, what he said. But I'm getting emails from people, all you people around the world, confirming that you had this belief. That because the Mexicans lost to the Japanese on GGPO, that means the Japanese are better than the Mexicans, or that the Mexicans are mid-level players. I've gotten this from a lot of you around the world that have told me that you had this belief. And you've thanked me for educating you or bringing it to light that that is not true. Because you were surprised by the results when Hummer came over. And it's just, again, to show you guys that you can't take GGPO, seriously, really. You can use it for a training ground. You can use it for practicing and learning stuff. When it regards to actual competition, you cannot take it seriously. Because, again, you're seeing the results, and you have many different things like lag tactics and other stuff that can cause it not to be taken seriously. So, basically, more of what I'm doing needs to be done. And so, obviously, with Mexico with Japan, at least for 2002, pretty much being close to finished, the only thing left to do would be to go to Japan. And face those players for 2002. It's time to, start looking at other directions. Which, obviously Mexico versus Japan and other stuff like 2002 UM 13 and 11 and stuff like that. But also like Mexico versus Peru and all these other things. Because now that Mexico is finally getting the respect it deserves, Mexico's in the spotlight. And because it's in the spotlight, there's other countries out there just waiting to take them down. Just like Mexico's waiting for the opportunity to take down Japan, I'm sure Peru is also waiting for the opportunity to take out Mexico. So Mexico needs to be on its guard because there are people there waiting to show other people how little they know. And that's the point I tell people. Even as much as I know about this, and I've been doing this for a long time, I openly acknowledge there is so much I don't know. I mean, it's just incredible the amount of stuff out there that there is to discover. So you can't sit up here with someone sitting there telling you that there is an exact way to do this. There is no one right way to do something. Now, there's a guideline, but there's no one right way. There's no one right tier list. You can't sit there and tell me the Japanese tier list is the end-all be-all God tier list of everything. Because different areas play different, different characters. As you see, Angel is God tier in 2002 in Japan. Or no, in Mexico for 2002. And even I'd say she's top, we think she's top tier in 2002 UM in Mexico. But you don't see that in Japan. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you don't see a lot, not everyone plays her in Japan. Hummer said there's 3 Angel players basically in Japan. So then how would you know how she really is at her full potential if there's just 3 people playing her? Exactly. So of course in Japan she would be mid-tier because people haven't really tapped out their potential. So there's a lot of things, stuff like that people need to take into advantage. And again, realize people that you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't say someone's going to win because they look prettier than another player. You can't say because they went online they're going to win offline. You can't say that. It has to happen in person without a shadow of a doubt to make sure things are known. Or, make sure what the results are. Now, in regards to the future, again, as I told y'all, next big thing I'm planning is Mexico vs. Peru. Whenever that does happen, because it's very expensive. And when getting paperwork taken care of for, the visas and stuff like that or not that visas, but passports. Got to make sure all that's lined up. So, I'm going to wait till all that happens. And then, obviously next week, not this week, but the week after, I will be in Minnesota for my residency. I have a colloquia that I have to do for school, and I'll be playing with Desmond, so you'll see me playing matches up there. And then, I don't know, when I get back after that, again, it's going to be just planning stuff. So, hope y'all enjoyed the matches. If y'all have anything, any extra comments or whatever, let me know. But I basically think that's about it. I think I've covered everything. If I need to add anything, I'll let you know. But again, special thanks to all the people that made this happen. We're going to obviously continue. I'm going to look at my plans. But Mexico versus Peru would be the next big thing. And then after that, I'm going to reevaluate everything. Because, again, I'm accomplishing a lot of stuff I want to accomplish. And so, I need to reevaluate my goals. And, adjust accordingly. So, that's about it, guys. I will talk to you later. Bye.